Hey everyone! You know, I recently rewatched the new Lilo and Stitch movie, and there's this one thought that just won't leave me, and I simply have to share it with you. What do you think this story is really about? Seriously, it's not just about a cute blue alien and beautiful Hawaiian landscapes. It's about how a little monster, literally programmed to destroy everything, suddenly becomes the last hope for a family that's on the verge of falling apart itself. And as I was thinking about it, I realized something very important. This story isn't about taming something wild. It's about how two deeply traumatized, broken souls found a mirror in each other. And in that reflection, they managed to see not ugliness, but hope. That's why I decided to call this analysis The Weird Girl and the Broken Monster. Today, we're not just going to retell the plot or tediously compare the movie to the cartoon. No, we're going to do something more interesting. We're going to look right into their souls. First, we'll talk about Lilo's weirdness and understand the real pain behind it. Then, we'll try to decode who this broken monster, Stitch, really is. And finally, we'll see how their shared trauma became not a curse, but their greatest strength. The very foundation upon which they built their imperfect but so very real family. A family built from broken pieces. So if you're interested, get comfortable. This is going to be deep. So let's start with Lilo. Everyone around her, her peers, her teachers, even her own sister, thinks she's weird. And looking from the outside, yes, her behavior does raise questions. She takes pictures of tourists on the beach because they look sad and lost. She feeds fish peanut butter sandwiches. She has a doll she made herself that looks, let's just say, pretty creepy. But what if all of this isn't just quirkiness? What if these are scars? The new film shows this to us very directly. Through a flashback where we see her happy family before the tragedy, before the car crash. And this knowledge completely changes our perspective. It transforms the weird girl into a child experiencing acute trauma. Think about it. Her world, safe and predictable, collapsed in an instant. Her parents are gone, and her brain is desperately searching for ways to cope with this pain. Her fascination with photography is an attempt to freeze time, to stop the clock, because the most important people in her life just vanished. Her clumsy care for the fish is a desperate attempt to control something, to save at least someone from death. Her so-called weirdness is the language her grief speaks. It's her armor. She's not weird. She is in mourning, and she is incredibly, screamingly lonely. Now, let's jump to another part of the galaxy for a moment and look at our second hero. Experiment 626. Stitch. His situation is even more complex. He wasn't born. He was created, engineered by a mad genius with a single purpose: to destroy. He has no past, no family, no name other than a number. The only thing he knows how to do, the only thing he exists for, is to wreak havoc. Imagine that total, absolute loneliness. Loneliness by design. You have no one, and you don't even know what it means to have someone. So here you have two poles. Lilo's loneliness is the loneliness of loss. Stitch's loneliness is loneliness by design. Two completely different worlds, but with the same black hole inside. And into this fragile world, where these two solitudes haven't even met yet, reality bursts in the form of Nani. Let's not forget about her. She's not just an older sister. She's a young woman who in an instant lost her parents, her youth, her dreams, and was forced to become a mother to a severely traumatized child. She is torn between work, bills, and trying to somehow get through to Lilo. And looming over her is the constant threat of a social worker who could take her sister away at any moment, destroying the last thing they have left. This pressure, this vice that Nani is in, creates the very pressure cooker where our entire story will unfold. It's the catalyst that brings the situation to a boiling point. And it is at this boiling point that they first meet. And so picture this scene. The animal shelter. Lilo needs to choose a friend. All around are dozens of cute, normal, fluffy puppies. The kind any other child would choose. But who does she choose? She walks past all of them. And she stops in front of a strange blue creature that everyone else considers a monster. Why? Because she looks at him and sees herself. She sees in his brokenness, in his unlikeness to others, a reflection of her own loneliness. She's not choosing a pet. She's choosing a kindred spirit, someone who, like her, doesn't fit into this world. But the most pivotal, most important moment in their relationship happens a little later, and it's the scene with the book. Lilo reads Stitch the story of the Ugly Duckling, a story about a baby bird who was born different from everyone else, who was rejected, pecked at, and chased away because he was different. And he was all alone until he found his real family, and in that moment, real magic happens. Look at Stitch's reaction. He doesn't just listen, he understands. He points a finger from the book to himself. This story resonates with something deep inside him. In that moment, Lilo isn't just reading him a fairy tale. She is holding up a mirror to him, and Stitch, looking into this mirror for the first time in his life, doesn't see the program Experiment 626. He doesn't see a monster created for chaos. He sees himself, lonely, lost, scared. This is the turning point for his character. It's the moment when it's not just an emotion that is born in him. Consciousness is born within him. For the first time, he becomes aware of his own existence and his own loneliness. He understands, I am him. I am the ugly duckling. And in that moment, they stop being just a girl and her dog. They become two ugly ducklings who found each other in a pond full of perfect, but foreign, swans. And this bond born from shared pain becomes unbreakable. And this bond is tested to its limits in the finale. When all seems lost, the situation is at its peak. Their world is collapsing from all sides. The social worker is about to take Lilo from Nani, and the alien bounty hunter, Captain Gantu, has arrived to capture Stitch. Logically, this is the end. The family is destroyed. The experiment is going back to the lab. There will be no happy ending. And then, Gantu captures Lilo. He takes her to his ship, and in that very moment, something inside Stitch explodes. His two natures collide. On one hand, his original programming, his factory settings, to destroy, to cause chaos, to fulfill his function. And on the other hand, something new, something he found here, on Earth. The sound of Lilo's voice, reading about the ugly duckling, the feeling of her hand in his. The word he learned, Ohana, family, and he makes a choice. He rewrites his own code. He goes against his nature, against everything he was created for, and he rushes to save Lilo. But do you know what's the most powerful part of this scene? It's not the action in the sky. The most powerful thing happens on the ground. Imagine Nani. She's standing on the beach, completely shattered. She looks up at the sky and sees this blue creature, this monster that she thought was the cause of all her problems, now risking everything to save her sister, to save their family. In that moment, she truly sees him, not as a problem, not as an animal, but as part of her Ohana. It's the moment of her complete and unconditional acceptance. And when they return, a quiet but incredibly powerful moment occurs. The Grand Council woman is ready to take Stitch, according to all rules and protocols. But Lilo simply shows her a document, a piece of paper that says she adopted Stitch. And she says this simple but brilliant line: "This is my dog." That means he's my family. And Ohana means family. Family means nobody gets left behind or forgotten. And everyone falls silent, because these are no longer just words. They are a fact, proven by action. This monster has just proven that he is family, and even the highest galactic authority yields to the power of this small, broken, but unbreakable family. This is the catharsis, the recognition, the victory of love and faith over any rules or programming. And that is the moment that, I'm sure, brought a tear to more than just my eye. And now we come to the most important part. What did we see in the end? What did we understand? Think about it. Stitch didn't fix Lilo, and Lilo didn't reprogram Stitch. They didn't erase each other's scars. They simply created a safe space, a place where those scars no longer need to be hidden, where you can be weird, where you can be broken, where you can finally exhale and just be yourself. And in this lies the new, adult, true meaning of the word Ohana. It's not just family. It's not just nobody gets left behind. Ohana is a space where your weirdness is your superpower, where your inner broken monster is what makes you worthy of love, not an outcast. Ohana isn't about the people who will fix you. It's about the people who will love you with all your cracks. And this is the greatest gift the movie gives to each of us. Right now, through the screen, it gives us permission. Permission to stop fighting our inner monsters and to simply get to know them, to acknowledge them. Permission to understand that our own brokenness, our scars, our weirdness, the things we are most ashamed of in ourselves, are not what make us defective. It's what makes us human. And ultimately, that is what will help us find our own imperfect but real Ohana. Because the strongest bond isn't born from perfection. It's born from the courage to show someone else your scars. Please write in the comments, did this resonate with you? And don't forget to subscribe. Because next time, we're going to talk about the real tragedy and the incredible strength of the one who held this entire broken family on her shoulders. We're going to talk about Nani.